Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Delaware Camera is your #1 spot for all your camera needs, education, accessories, printing, and more. Located at 2635 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo. Visit cameraspot.com.
We are on. We were just having a little chat. Me, Vicente, producer Will, we're having a little talk. We like to talk when we're up here in the studio.
We like to jabberjaw.
Welcome to the latest
like to
True Believers Tech Talk Tuesday, as we do every Tuesday for the last 31 weeks. And before we go any further, this man's birthday is tomorrow. He's going to be 30-something.
32,
so,
dude.
if you see him, I think he's Vicente Rondon on Instagram.
You know what my Instagram is.
So, send him a happy birthday wish. Send money to his Cash App, whatever he's got.
Hey, send money to my Cash App, you know? Send money to my Venmo.
Before we get to Vicente's What's in Your Bag, we're going to go through our regular housekeeping as we like to do. Ellen Shapiro, NFRCC event is happening October 15th. I think tickets may end tomorrow, but check it out. There'll be a link on our social media. It's seminars.nfrccevents.org, or just search for NFRC, Niagara Frontier Regional Camera Club, online, and you can find the link to the Alan Shapiro event, which is on October 15th at the Grapevine. There is lunch. I don't know if there's breakfast, but get breakfast on the way there. And then I think there's a McDonald's here and there. Get there. But anyway, it's 9 to 5 on the 15th. I'll be there for a little bit. Steven will be there. Debbie will be there. I don't think Will will be there. No, Will won't be there. But anyway, October 15th, NFRCC event. It's their fall seminar, which they have every year. So check it out if you want to learn a little bit about what Alan Shapiro does, his photography.
He's not a lawyer, is he?
He is not, but he is a great photographer.
That's Bob Shapiro, founder of Legal Zone.
Is that Bob Shapiro?
Who was also on O.J. Simpson's, lawyer team.
Yeah, awesome.
O.J. Simpson played for the Buffalo Bills.
And we're in Buffalo.
Buffalo
Bills won on Sunday, actually. Came back strong against the Ravens. Sorry, Baltimore. You ain't watching anyway. So anyway, a few things I wanted to get into. We're going to have some online classes soon. Normally we have our regular classes. We have the manufacturers like Canon, Tamron classes, Nikon classes, but we're going to have actually some of our own classes coming up soon. We're going to have a family photo class, a lighting class, and a portrait photography class. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to start promoting those very soon. If you're into learning, some photo stuff, some cool photo stuff like family photography, lighting, and portraits. This guy does a lot of portraits. So if you're ever looking for a portrait guy, that's your guy. But anyway.
Thank you.
October 14th. October 15th is Alan Shapiro. October 14th, our Tamron rep Andrew will be here. He'll be in the store. Gonna have a setup. He's gonna have those new lenses that are coming out, like the 20 to 40 for Sony. The 50 to 150 to 140?
I thought it was that all-in-one.
No, 50 to 400. Yeah, that 50 to 400 zoom lens, which just came out, and the Nikon 70 to 300 for Z lenses, which just is coming out or just came out too. But he'll have them in the store if you want to come and check them out, see what they're like, get a feel for them, maybe take a couple of pictures with them. He will have those in the store October 14th. I think he'll be here like 10 to 5-ish if you want to come see him. Sorry, Will. Sorry. One more thing before we get to Vicente. So, do you have those pictures of my lens, the UV filters? It's okay. So, I was at a wedding this past Saturday, and actually I ran into this guy at Pale Gardens because he was out there. What were you doing at the Pale Gardens?
Shooting portraits for quinceañera.
How did that go?
Went beautifully. It was really nice.
Yeah, I was shooting a wedding when a girl I used to do weddings with, she asked me to shoot her wedding. And I was walking around the Pale Gardens with my cameras, and I dropped one of my cameras.
Your lenses, right?
Well, the camera was on the lens. So
Okay.
anyway, well, I didn't drop it. My strap kind of like became undone, and I was walking across the bridge there.
Just like that.
And it just dropped. And when I looked, I was like, I heard that bounce. I was like, crap. I was like, man, my thing dropped. Actually, to get off topic a little bit, I was at the Bill Stadium earlier this year, and I dropped my camera there too. But the ground there is rubbery, so it like bounced off the ground and like nothing happened to it, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So I dropped my lens, and you know, I went to look at it, and it looked pretty damaged, as they say. You got it yet, Will? It looked pretty damaged. Like there's a big crack in it, which I think Will is bringing up on the screen. I had a UV filter on there, and it just cracked in half. Like, well, it didn't crack in half. The glass broke. Some of the glass was gone, and I was like, damn, this sucks. So anyway,
That's how you reacted?
that was my reaction. I wasn't really upset. Like, you know, sometimes people freak out when these things happen. Like if you dropped your lens and it looked like it was broken, would you freak out?
No, it's like what's done is done.
Yeah, that's how I kind of was. I was like, I got other lenses in the bag. I can go to something else if I need to. But it was definitely, there was glass. I had to pull the glass out of the broken filter. But the glass underneath, you know, my regular lens glass was good. And so I posted about it on Instagram, and I discovered when I posted about it on Instagram that like apparently there's, like, we sell UV filters and protection filters on cameras here, and there was like a whole, like, there were some people who were like, well, that's not for protection, this and that. And I was like, what do you mean? We sell them for protection all the time. I mean, I've seen lots of people break filters and not break their lens glass. And there was like a debate about it. And then I looked online, I guess other people were talking about this, but at least in my world, I put UV filters on all of my lenses because in case I drop a lens, so I don't have to like put caps on my lenses when I'm changing lenses at the wedding. I just kind of throw stuff in my bag, and I'm not, you know, having anything happen to my lenses. But I mean, I for one think a UV filter is a great thing to have on all your lenses. I know some people say that it messes with the IQ of the lens, but you get a good UV filter then. You get a really good one that doesn't, you know, that lets as much light pass through as it can, and that's what you buy. A really expensive one. You don't buy a, you know, $10 filter, which a lot of people come in here and they see our filters and they're like, I can get one for $10, but the ones that are $10 they're not good. They're gonna mess with your images. So what do you think about UV filters?
Well, it's funny you ask, Marcus.
Yeah.
Should I start opening up my bag?
No, not yet. Let's talk about UV filters.
Okay, so I am big on purchasing UV filters for my lenses. The only thing is that, as you may notice, I've taken off the UV filters for most of my lenses that I have here that are, well, for the cameras and the lenses that I have here. But you have no idea how many, which one am I looking at, Will? You have no idea how many times UV filters have saved my lens glass. In fact, it just happened about a month ago. One of my camera bodies dropped out of my bag, like it just rolled right out of my bag, unfortunately. And that's never happened before to me. Oh, that one, okay. So I rolled right out of my bag, and I had my 35 f2 on there, and fell face first, like right on the lens.
Ooh.
But what helped it is the HGX UV filter that I bought for that specific lens, and that's the only damage. Oh, right there. Okay, so you gotta stop saying that. Sorry. That was the only damage that was on the lens. Was on the lens. Sorry, on the lens.
You gonna say on the lens again?
On the lens. The UV filter actually protected the lens glass, and I'm so happy because that's my favorite lens to use. So the only thing, again, that was damaged was just the ring of the filter. And the camera body, unfortunately, was damaged too, but it can be fixed very easily. I've already sent it out to get fixed. But yeah, man, I'm all for having UV filters on my lenses.
Yeah.
And I don't, wait, can you bleep? Can't bleep?
We're live, bro.
That's too bad. I don't give a hoot about people who say that UV filters mess with the integrity of the lens or like the sharpness, because I mean, really, I'm looking to protect my glass.
Yeah.
You know?
And actually, another thing people were saying in this chat was how the hoods protect, and the hoods do protect, and the filters. I mean, everything does a little bit to protect the lens, and you know, I think I'm not gonna say. You know, I will continue to use. I actually don't use hoods at all when I shoot, but. Because I mean, hoods, they kind of get in the way. They don't fit in my bag properly, so I'm like, I'm not bringing this with me. That's my thing. And I shoot inside a lot, you know, and if I try to shoot in shade and I don't get out in the bright sun at all. But yeah, I mean, both things do help. I mean, I will swear by filters forever. I mean, I just don't want to have, I feel a lot better not, you know, having my lens glass out there, even in my bag. You know, I don't want, you know, someone hands me a lens and something, and they grab it by the front because they don't know what they're doing. You know, that
they have
happens
greasy
too.
fingers.
Greasy little fingers.
Greasy little, grubby little buttery fingers.
But anyway, so I mean, I think UV filters are great. Hoods are great too. But as I was gonna say, when I was talking about this, your best protection is a protection warranty, which we sell. So
Mac protection.
Mac protection. So
That's MACK, people.
because if you drop your lens from, you know, 20 feet, it's getting broken whether you have a hood or a filter or anything on there. We sell warranties when you buy cameras and lenses that will protect your stuff from impact damage. You gotta send it out for repair, but there's no extra cost in that, which I think is a good way to protect your stuff because nothing is bulletproof. But anyway, we'll talk about that in another episode. But let's get to today's topic. Vicente, what's in your bag?
Oh.
So Vicente, what do you like to shoot? I know you do portraits and stuff. So this setup that you have here, what is this? What are you going to shoot when you're shooting what's in your bag here? What are you going to shoot?
Which camera, Will? Strangers. Strangers is
That
what I
one.
shoot.
That one.
So I mostly photograph people.
Yeah, exactly. Talk to me.
I mostly photograph people, as you know, Mark.
Yes, I've seen your work.
With the 12 years of our friendship.
Yeah, you've been around a while.
So yeah, I photograph people, and most of the time I look for strangers, or I look for individuals that I find intriguing or mysterious or interesting. I don't really like to use the word mysterious because it gives people the idea that there's someone hiding behind a cape, like while they're sitting at a bench in the park. But yeah,
Aren't some of your subjects doing that?
yeah, actually, some of them are doing stuff like that. But I like to get a story out of people like that because I like talking to people. I've been talking to strangers since I was a kid, so it's almost always people. And if there's ever like photographs of a scene, let's say of a landscape, it usually has to do with the story of the individual that came before it. So yeah, it's mostly people.
Yeah, I've always liked when you've done like street photography classes, like how you explain like getting to know people and stuff. I think that's super important as far as like street photography and stuff. Just saying that because I think it's cool.
Yeah, building rapport is always important, especially.
I mean,
when you're
I think
photographing.
since knowing you, I've talked to more people than I would have knowing you, which is cool.
That makes you feel good.
It's cool.
I'm
Like
inspired.
I think I've like either like, you know, like comment in a good way, you know, people like say that something looks cool or that's cool, like, you know, that's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
I think I learned that from you a lot, you know, which I think is cool, like, because that's, you know, it's, you know, you're good with people.
Thank you.
And I've vibed on that, so I think that's cool.
I'm glad that you vibed on that.
But anyway, let's get to what's in your bag.
That actually, real quick, that makes me think of what Jim used to say.
Yeah?
He used to call me Eddie Haskell when I worked here.
Eddie Haskell.
Yeah, he used to call me Eddie Haskell because I was always like,
I
yeah,
know
from
he is.
like I was always like he said I was always kissing up to people that came into the store, and it's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I thought you were being genuine with
Yeah,
people,
I'm-
but whatever.
I'm always
It's
being
all
genuine
good.
whenever I
Yeah,
can.
you're
Yeah.
totally. That's what I appreciate about you.
I try my
I think
best.
when you like, well, not to. Well, we'll keep. We'll
no,
talk.
you know what? No, hit me hard so I could start tearing
No,
up.
I
in front of
think
the
no. I
cameras.
think when people come into the store and I say have a nice day, I mean have a nice day. I'm not just saying it to say it or
Yeah.
because I gotta talk to them. I'm like, because I say other things to you, Will. Anyway, let's get to what's in your bag.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I've got this Tenba messenger bag that I actually got here at Delaware Camera, and this was a used bag at the time. But the reason that I gravitated towards this bag was because it's a canvas bag.
Yeah.
On top of that, it's a very slim messenger design, and obviously, I'm pretty sure that you all can see that it's what some people would call vintage. I'm not really too worried about that.
Yeah.
It's more so the fact that it's slim, it's very easy to carry around, and it's also very comfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that these seem to be brass, these pieces that are here. So they're pretty strong. The bag itself is pretty strong. There is a tear here, but I like it because it gives character to the bag. I'll be getting this fixed by a seamstress friend of mine. And I actually really do love this hole that's here, even though I do love this tear. But mostly because it just gives the bag a little bit of character, and I think that we're all a little broken. So,
Is this bag? So let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
is this bag like sitting by your door, ready to go at all times?
always.
Okay.
Like I do have a number of bags, but
Yeah.
the thing is that this is the bag that I carry around with me most of the time. And you know, when it comes, okay, so like with my students at Damon,
Yeah.
I usually do like to see if they could catch me like bringing in different bags every time
Yeah.
when I'm in, just so they could start asking questions.
Okay.
But this is the bag that I usually like bring around with me.
Very cool.
So I also got to get these pieces redone, which are the Velcro pieces, just so they can attach a little bit,
Yeah,
a little bit firmer. But what do I have in my bag? So usually I carry around a 35 millimeter Konica Hexar lens. This is a Konica M Hexanon lens. And this lens is Leica M mount, so it can be mounted to my Leica M4P, but lately I've been using it with my Konica Hexar RF, which is a rangefinder style camera.
Yeah.
This is my favorite lens to use in the whole wide world because I like shooting landscape style or horizontal format. And with that, that means that I like to get a little bit more what's going on in the background in like the narration of my subject.
Yeah.
But this is the lens that I was talking about. This is the
Okay.
one with the HDX filter.
Yeah.
Didn't get busted. So I keep that. I also carry usually this 50 millimeter f2 for my Konica Hexanon. I'm sorry, for my Konica Hexar. This is another Konica
Do you ever
Hexanon
adapt
lens.
these to that or that?
So I have adapted this to a Sony camera before, and it was awesome. But I mostly shoot film nowadays, so this is for my
As
film
you
body.
shot my brother with film.
Yes, I did, and also those pictures came out awesome.
Awesome. Cool.
I gotta send this to you. This is a 28 millimeter f2.8, still Konica M Hexanon. So again, all Leica mount.
Yeah.
And this one is a 90 millimeter f2.8. I don't use this one very often at all, but I want to start using it more. The lenses that I use most often are the 35 and the 50. The 28 I'm getting around to using a little bit more, but that 35 serves its purpose beautifully. I also have a Konica Hexar RF, and this is an electronic rangefinder camera. It's a 35 millimeter rangefinder camera. It's extremely durable. I love the big bright viewfinder that's on it, and I also keep a 40 millimeter Voigtlander f1.4 on this just for right now because I. Holy shit! So I
Demonetized.
I carry this Voigtlander. What was that?
15-second delay.
Is that gonna happen?
No.
That's gonna be awesome if it does.
You're
but
on there, man. You're on
So, so yeah, I carry this Voigtlander 40 millimeter f1.4, and I like this lens. It gives me that nice medium between the 35 and the 50. The only thing is that the frame lines on the rangefinder cameras aren't that great with the Voigtlander 40 millimeter because it's a 40. You know, it should stick to the 35 and the 50, and you have to guess somewhere between there what
really?
your image is gonna look like. But yeah, this is the body that I've been using most often.
Cool.
I usually like to travel light, and this allows me to travel light while also still staying durable. The cool thing about this as well is that since it's a rangefinder, most people don't feel too, what's the word? Intimidated.
Yeah, intimidated.
Let's just say intimidated by the camera. I also carry a Nikon 35 millimeter camera. Sorry, they just jumbled right out. Nikon 35 millimeter camera. This is a Nikon F3, and this also has a 35 millimeter F2 on it. Okay. This one I'll usually swap out for the Konica whenever I'm feeling like it, and I'll place in the Nikon lenses that are of the same value as this. Sometimes I'll carry my Fujifilm X Pro 3, which is another rangefinder style body. But I've been shying away from that just because it is digital, and I'd rather shoot film most of the time. This is a just in case measure.
Okay.
So as for what else is in the bag, let's go into this. So in the bottom pocket, there's this wonderful like bottom pocket that I have here. This is all the film that I carry with me, and I do shoot film very often and plentifully. So you see that? I've got a whole bunch of film here. Usually I shoot Kodak Portra 160 or Kodak Portra 400. Every once in a while I'll shoot 800, especially when in extreme low light conditions. And I like to shoot at something that's called, William Albert Allard calls it Hail Mary shutter speeds, which means that I'm shooting at like a 60th of a second or 30th of a second or 15th of a second whenever I'm in low light conditions trying to get something that is well composed. No, handheld. So that's why it's called Hail Mary.
So it might not be sharp, is what you're saying?
Yeah, sometimes it might not be
might
sharp.
be some blur, yeah.
But the cool thing is that I've gotten pretty lucky with that. If you look at some of my work on my website, which is vicenterondon.com, you'll notice that some of those low light images actually are pretty sharp, even though they're in low light conditions, and that was with 800 speed film a lot of the time.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, check it out. I also keep a Sekonic light meter inside of my camera bag. This is just in case I'm using a camera without a light meter. I mean, I'm pretty good now at just figuring it out on my own.
Yeah.
But whenever using the M4P, I do like to keep this with me just in case.
Yeah.
And this tool is like you should always have a light meter with you just in case. If you want to make sure that your exposures are spot on, it's a good idea, good investment to have. So let's put this out here. I like to keep a little extra light on me every once in a while. And this right here I got from Delaware Camera. I forgot.
Godox?
Yeah, the Godox one. So this is awesome because it's an LED panel and you could change the color spectrum on it. I could also modify it to kind of give me that sort of like difference in color. Okay. You could also change the color temperature on it. You can change the brightness on it. I can dim it if I want to. This thing is, I was gonna curse just now, and I'm trying to monitor myself as best as I can.
Man,
But this thing is awesome.
Joe like took care, like Joe kept himself in check. Why can't you?
I don't know, dude. Sorry. So this is also something that I would recommend that if you are a street photographer or if you're someone that does like to go around and talk to strangers whenever making photographs, or like you just like to keep notes, keep a notebook on you. And this is my old notebook. I have a new one, a replacement in here, but this is my notebook filled with notes. This is a Write in the Rain notebook. It's a spiral bound notebook that is completely waterproof.
Oh, that's cool.
I always keep a pencil with me as well too, because you can write on the Write in the Rain notebooks with pencil even when it's raining hard.
Okay.
And I've done that before. Like some of these pages are just soaked.
Yeah.
And I've been able to keep notes all the way through and through.
That's really cool.
So yeah, always keep a mechanical pencil on me. Always keep a Write in the Rain notebook. It has a ruler on it just in case you need that for whatever reason. Batteries. I always have batteries for my cameras just in case.
Yeah.
Except for the M4P that doesn't need a battery. I do carry batteries with me. I also have this, and this might not make a lot of sense, but these are 20 little mini cigars. I also keep cigarettes on me sometimes and gum as well as like money if I need to, of course. But cash is always good for this. The reason why I keep these on me is just because this is a form of currency. And whenever you're dealing with individuals who you might want to build rapport with, you never know if you want to pull out a cigarette or a cigar, especially if they smoke already, and share one with them. Or you can share a little bit of like whiskey if you'd like, or tequila. And someone will definitely feel a little bit more comfortable around you with you having shared something that they can relate to, which is kind of awesome.
Is there tequila in that bag?
Not in this bag, no. But the thing, everyone, Casamigos, no. Like, we'll talk about tequilas and mezcals later, but no, when it comes to like just building rapport with somebody, it's always good to have something on you that someone can relate to or find useful.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
and that doesn't mean that I'm trying to like manipulate someone into getting a photograph. It just means that, hey, I'm considering the fact that maybe you might want one of these. Hey, do you want a cigarette? Do you want a cigar? And if someone says no, it's cool. So I always keep a form of currency on me. Also, always lens cleaning cloth. Never know when you're gonna need these. As for what's in the back here, I do carry another notebook, but this one is for broader notes or for like journaling. I need to, and I keep that in my bag as well. So that stays there. And if you want to see some of the film, there we go. Look at that.
Tell us what you got though, like the 160 or the 400.
Yep.
All
So
that jazz.
here, let's do this. Put this right here.
So much film. You ever mess around with the newer like weirder films, like the double films, like the Lomo films? You ever mess with that stuff?
No, I don't like to. That's just not really my thing. No, because I'm a professional. I'm kidding. No, it's not really my thing. It's kind of cool that people make like really cool art with that every once in a while, but it's not for me. And I like the way that Kodak Portra scans. I like the grain on it too. It's very fine grain. It's very smooth film that comes out extremely sharp. I love the colors that come out of Kodak Portra as well. So yeah, I like to stick to this. So these are two rolls of 160. Let's see what this one is. This one might be 400. Usually I label them with Sharpie.
Yeah,
but
so you
just
can
didn't have time.
easily see which one is which.
Absolutely. And the cool thing is that there is a little space on your film, by the way, to take notes. I do recommend that you use that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
So that's what's in your bag.
That's what's in my bag. So there's a logo on my shirt that I had to cover just in case I decided to curse or wall out during this.
Mission accomplished.
And yeah, I know, right? So I'm glad that I actually taped this up. But this is what's in my bag. And
thanks.
yeah, man, no problem.
We'll see who we got next month. I don't know who we have next month, but we'll have some. You're the artist of the month.
Artist of the month, man. Also, is
Speaking
there any
of
way? Hold on.
Hold on.
Is there any way that you could, if you could like loop, Ludacris's.
What Ludacris song?
Well, I just want I want the one lyric of what in the world is in that bag, what you got in that bag. For rollout.
Producer Will is.
Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be cool.
Cracking up a little bit. Or maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so a couple more things. Thanks for coming on, Vicente. We appreciate you being a friend to the show. I think it's your third time on the show, which we appreciate. So a couple of things. Don't forget Alan Shapiro, October 15th. Your sign up is ending soon. Check that out. Next week, we're gonna have, I go to the ProMasters show every year. ProMasters is our accessory brand. We're gonna talk about some products that I saw there, which are new and cool. And we're gonna talk about that next week. We have an upstairs gallery, as you know. Right now, it's got some Jeff Barnes work in it, but pretty soon we're gonna have some Will Holton work in here. And it's gonna, William Charles photography work up in the studio. So we're not gonna tell you what it's all about yet, but you're gonna love it. There's gonna be an event surrounding it as well, so keep an eye out for that. So we appreciate you watching. And if you like this, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends.
Tell your friends about me.
About Vicente.
Tell your
And we will see you next week on Tuesday at noon for Tech Talk, True Believers, Tuesday, every Tuesday, from upstairs here at Delaware Camera. Thanks for watching.
Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Delaware Camera is your #1 spot for all your camera needs: education, accessories, printing, and more. Located at 2635 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo. Visit cameraspot.com.